Along Walters Drive, a painted center line divides more than just traffic. On either side of this road, 3 cemeteries stand: Gresham Pioneer, Escobar, and White Birch. Their borders thin, their stories inseparable. Yet together they form a landscape of memory. Even the trees at the edges wear autumn's colors, as if to remind us, seasons may change, but remembrance lingers. I'm Aaron, and this is Stories in Stone. From above, you can trace their boundaries. Walters Road to the west, First Baptist Church to the north, and Johnson Creek flowing quietly behind. But on the ground, the only real map is memory. A slow walk through Gresham Pioneer reveals the resting places of families who carried the weight of a frontier town. Johnson and Charity Cleveland lie beneath a tall obelisk. 4 western red cedars marking the corners of their family plot. Like so many that had come west, their story was one of endurance and planting roots. Nearby is Jackson Powell, one of the namesakes of Powell Valley. In 1848, he settled here, farming the land and even cutting and floating trees downriver to supply Fort Vancouver. The landscape we walk today was, for him, a source of both survival and livelihood. Samuel Metzger, another of Gresham's early pioneers, rests with his wife Sarah. He first ran a general store in 1888 and later opened the Gresham Hotel, a building whose faded photographs still speak of a town on the cusp of growth. These were the people who gave Gresham its foundations: farmers, merchants, families, and faith. Among these pioneers rests someone whose life reached far beyond this valley. This is Miyo Iwakoshi, born in Japan in 1852, remembered as Oregon's first Japanese immigrant. For more than 50 years, she lay here without a marker, her memory nearly lost. In 1988, the Japanese American community and the Gresham Historical Society placed this stone and planted a cedar beside it, a living memorial to her resilience and her legacy. I lingered here, reflecting on what her journey meant: to leave one land and to arrive in another, to rest among the earliest settlers of Gresham. Her husband, Andrew McKinnon, is buried nearby, though his marker has faded from view. Together, their story is written in both stone and silence. The artistry of these stones speaks its own language. John Hurlburt and Mary Adams's marker is carved as an open book, a symbol of life's story completed, of wisdom, and of faith inscribed beyond this world. Louis Stinger and Henry Havel are remembered by towering obelisks, a design borrowed from ancient Egypt that came to represent eternity and strength in the 19th century. The Kenny family graves tell a quieter story. Children lost before they could reach adulthood, names carved into fragile stone. On their markers, artisans often carved lambs, doves, or flower buds, each a symbol of innocence and lives cut short. Sheaves of wheat often appear on graves of prominent citizens, reminders of a life brought to its natural harvest. Clasped hands signify a reunion to come, as if to say, we shall meet again. Civil War veterans are marked by shields bearing the state and regiments that they once served. Taken together, these carvings are more than just decoration. They are visual echoes of grief, hope, and belief, meant to speak long after voices fell silent. Hey there, real quick, if you're enjoying this walk amongst the stones, I'd be eternally grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe to Stories in Stone. It helps more people discover these quiet histories, and it allows me to keep bringing them to life. Now let's continue on our walk into Escobar Cemetery. At first glance, there is little to distinguish Escobar Cemetery from the larger Gresham Pioneer. Just a narrow strip of land on the outer edge, its lines blur into its neighbor. Established in 1914, it bears the name of Frank Escobar, a man who tended these grounds and cared for those without families of their own. Though his body lies across the road at Forest Lawn, this place carries his name. A quiet testament to a caretaker's compassion. And perhaps one day, we'll walk through Forest Lawn itself, to trace the story further. Across Walters Road lies White Birch Cemetery, its entrance marked by old brick and shaded trees. Though smaller in size, its presence is striking, a mirror to the grounds across the way. Founded in 1889 by Sarah Hutchison Stone, who purchased the land for only $10. It became a place where families could secure memory with permanence. Here rests Reverend Alexander Beers, a pastor who went on to help establish Seattle Pacific University. His grave, along with those of his family, anchors the cemetery's story of faith, education, and community service. Other stones bear inscriptions, reminding us that this ground, too, welcomed immigrant families, lives written across 2 languages and 2 worlds. Walking to the back of White Birch, the scale feels smaller. But the echoes are just as deep. Each name ties the cemetery to the wider narrative of Gresham's growth and diversity. As the autumn light fades, I walked again from back to front, past the obelisks and the red cedars, the stones of pioneers and caretakers. The sky dimmed, and I left the camera still, letting the silence speak for itself. From Miyo Iwakoshi's cedar-shaded grave to the pioneers that gave Gresham its name, from the compassion of Escobar to the enduring presence of white birch, these cemeteries are not divided, they're joined in memory. Every inscription, every symbol, every quiet plot tells us the same thing. The present that we live in was built upon their lives. These stones, these echoes, are all quiet places waiting to be heard. If you'd like to continue uncovering the lives, legacies, and lessons carved in stone, I invite you to subscribe to Stories in Stone and share this journey. Together, we keep these memories alive.